Hello, hello. Do you think negatively about yourself? Do you have that little inner critic going on in your head that tells you negative stuff? And you've got all these little words at play that sort of say, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I'm not good enough. I'm not sure that I can really do that, etc., etc. If you've got all that going on, you would not be alone. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to combat negative self-talk because we all do it. Somebody that tells me that they don't do it, then I think they're lying. Oh, I can see a comment. Oh, thank you, Facebook. Good morning, Glenn. How are you? Hello, Robin. Hello, Rob. Rob saying hello to Henry. Henry's my little fishy over here. If you have not or you don't know, this is Henry over here that joins us on my lives. I'm so excited to be seeing comments again. For those of you not in the know, I haven't been able to see Facebook comments for a while. Good to hear you're great, Glenn. Hello, Sean. How are you? Thanks for saying hello to Henry. Facebook has been playing games with me the last week. I couldn't see comments for, hello Tamara, lovely to see you on live. I couldn't see comments for a number of days and then I got it back and then it went away again. So I'm so excited that I can see comments today. That's awesome. It's so much easier to be able to, communicate with you and read your comments as they come up on the screen. So if you are not familiar with me, my name is Helen Martin. I am your online crew captain. So we're a community of home-based business owners here learning how to leverage social media to build your business. So no more old school tactics, chasing family and friends. We're learning to leverage social media and use modern strategies to build our business. Hello, Julie. How are you? Hello, Shannon. Where have you been, girl? I've missed you. It's so awesome to see you on live. And if you're not familiar with me, that's what we're here. We have adopted the palm tree emoji. My palm tree's still alive, guys, for those of you that have been watching since I've had the palm tree. So drop the palm tree emoji down below if you're a member of my free Facebook community, social media strategies for home business owners. You can put the fishy down below as well. So the palm tree and the fishy, drop them down below. Let me know if you guys are here that are members of my free Facebook crew community, as well. Sean, I guess they wanted you to play Guess the Viewers, literally. Pretty much, Sean. That's what I was doing. Those of you that are on with me live regularly, when you click the like or the love button, your little profile picture comes up. So if I've got to know who you are, it was literally a guessing game. Oh, Sean's on. Oh, Rob's on. But unless I was familiar with your profile picture, that couldn't happen. But we're back on track, so that's the main thing. And what I do here is I go live 5 days a week, same time, every day. So that's from today onwards for the next today and the next 4 days. So I'm here every day at this time, and a lot of you are here with me too, which is absolutely awesome. Now, what I haven't done for a few weeks because I was traveling, I was in Orlando for a little bit, I came back, then I had a special interview with Kate McShay last week. So my normal start of the week video has been all over the place for a few weeks. Hello, Sandrine, how are you? Lovely to see you on live. Now, normally what I do at the start of week, and I've done this for months and months and months and months, so we're getting back on track today, is that, hey, Teresa, how are you? Lovely to see you on live. I normally start with some kind of personal growth, personal development, mind shift type topic to start the week because it is such a huge part of the success of your business. If we don't have it all going on up here, if we've got a whole lot of self-doubt going on, a whole lot of fear going on, a whole lot of I'm not good enough going on, a whole lot of what are people are going to think of me going on, guess what happens to our business? Not a lot. So we've really got to work on ourselves. Hello, Brady. How are you? Awesome to see you on live. We've really got to work on ourselves to get a cracking business, because more often than not, I can teach you all the skills under the sun for building like a business on social media and leveraging social media and using, Facebook Live and this and that and all the rest of it. But if you're riddled with self-doubt and negative self-talk, nothing I teach you is going to make any difference, because you're not going to do it because you got all this negative self-talk going on. You're wonderful. That's awesome. Awesome to see you on. Oh, hello, Robin. Did I see you come on? I'm not sure if I said hello to you, Robin. I didn't know you were on. Awesome to see you on as well. So that's what we're going to cover today. Just before I get into that topic, I just want to read the final list of those of you that won from me free access to my new private monthly coaching community, which is going to start in January next year, where I'm going to give you bite-sized pieces of training that you can absorb and put in. I did, Robin. Well, you got it twice, Robin. Double the love from me coming today, Robin. Bite-sized little bits of training that you can actually take away implement in your business, so you start moving and progressing forward all the time. So that's what my new private monthly coaching community is all about. And the following people, because they invested in Kate's training, I'm not going to repeat all of that. I've been hashing that, for the last week and a half. But these people have won access to that group next year. So that's over. You can't get into that group for free anymore, but these people have. So just a quick rundown so you know where you're at. And guys, if I read out your name, I am not creating this group until January. The reason for that is, if you are not aware, when you create a group, once you open that group, you've got 72 hours to get people in as founding members. So if I create the group now and let it sit there until January, none of you can become founding members because the 72 hours would have passed. So that's why I'm not physically creating the group. So each one that I'm reading out this list, these names, I will be in contact with you once the group is created and say, right, get in, ask to join and make a comment so you can become a founding member. So we've got Mary Vorlikek. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, Mary. Excuse me if I don't get your names right. We've got Glenn Everett. We've got Catherine McGuire. We've got Patricia Morrison, Katrin Beetle, Rob Clark, Anna Chetkuti. I usually get that right. Helen Elix, Karen Arnstein, Sandrine Dinovan, Vivi Cabasa, Heather Gowden, Melanie Berry, Lee Prosser. We've got Sean Clark. We've got Crystal Ricassi, Laura Fua, Gabrielle Mottershead, Tamara Tisdale, Cassie Higgins, Corazon Price, Robin Stewart, Christina Lozano Torres, I love that name, Glenda Gregory, Brady is on, Teresa Nelson, Sherry Lee, Yvonne Dadotal, and Chinta Cassidy. Oh, I can't read my own writing. I think it said Cassidy. So those people, I don't think I've missed anyone. If I've missed anyone and you got Kate's training, please let me know. But those people, Vivi's on. Hello, Vivi. How are you? Lovely for you to join us and to see you on live. So looking forward to working with you guys next year. But before we sort of get onto that, I'm doing the live video challenge. And I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow and the next days. I'm going to be setting that up. And if you want to get into my live video challenge, then just put I'm in. Put the words I'm in down below. So far, I have got the following people in that group, which this week I'm setting it up. Next week we're going to be doing it. It's only for 14 days, guys. So if you've got a fear around live video, you want some help about knowing how to do it, how to execute it, what to say, I'm going to give you the topics. I'm going to make it all easy for you. I'm doing this all for free, just because I want you to get familiar with live video, because that's the success of your business online on social media. So far in the challenge, I have Glenn Everett, Yvonne Del Dotto, Helen Elix, Glenda Gregory, Tammy Schreiber, Tamara Scott, Rob Clark, Julie Tozer, Teresa Nelson, Sean Clark, Sandrine Dinovan, Vivi Cabasa, We've got Crystal Ricassi, we've got Debbie Coleman, we've got Saram Adonis, we've got Tony Van Arsdale, we've got Michelle Sabani, we've got Sonia Stang. I can't read my writing again, sorry Sonia. We've got Tanya Lomax and we've got Helen Cameron, and Brady just said she was in as well, so you are added to the list. If there's anyone else that wants to join us in, it's just 14 days video challenge. I am going to have prizes at the end of it. I'm going to be running it in my free social media strategies for home business owners group. That's where we actually we'll kick off in there. I'm going to set it up for you on this page, because what I'm going to share with you about live video, anybody can get the benefit of, even if you don't join us in the challenge. So my whole objective is just to help you get familiar and more comfortable with live video, because it can be really scary, can it not? If you think it's scary, put scary down below so I can see how many of you are scared to take this video challenge. So let's get on to business. Oh, and Vivi sent me a message earlier. She did her first live video. She's just done it. She said she was scared. She did it anyway. No one was watching. And that's one of the things that I just want to run through with you with all the setup. You'll probably have no one watching in the beginning. But that's awesome, because that's your practice ground. So it's better to practice when no one's there than have a whole lot of eyeballs on you and then you start to freak out because people are actually watching you. So it's not a bad thing that people aren't there when you start doing live video. Everyone's scared. Love it. So I hope I can make this easier and achievable for you moving forward, because if you truly want to build your business on social media, you need to be doing live video. If you haven't got that message across, in the last couple of weeks, if you've been watching my lives over the last couple of weeks, then, you've missed the point. Live video is where it's at, but I do understand that it can be really scary. So we just want to get you going. Okay, so that's what this is all about coming up. So if you're not on that list and you want to be in, put the words "I'm in," and you'll get more information about that this week on this page. Okay, now let's get back to the topic at hand. How do we combat negative self-talk? This is so important. This is probably very relevant for you guys thinking about doing live video, because what's going through your head? I'm scared. I don't want to do it. Well, what are people going to think? What am I going to say? What the hell am I going to talk about? What if I mix up my words? What if I look like an idiot? What are people going to think? That's okay, Robin. Robin's not participating, but you're already doing live video. So I'll let you off the hook this time, Robin. All good. Maybe you'll still pick up some tips from me this week that might help you with your live video that you're already doing on your business page, Robin. So hopefully you'll still get some, good information over the next sort of few days that might help you. Okay, so we've all got an inner critic. We've all got that little voice in our head that tells us stupid things about ourselves that are often not true, that keep us from doing the things we want to do. And I do want to remind you, and I've said this over and over and over again, but if you haven't heard it before, your brain is wired to keep you safe. So while your brain is wired to keep you safe, that's just the way it is. It's just the makeup of what's happening up here. It's designed to keep you safe. So anything that's scary, anything that's going to be uncomfortable, your brain is naturally going to try to talk you out of it. So this is where your negative self-talk will come in, because your brain is wired to keep you safe. So if you're going to go and do something that doesn't make you feel safe, like I'm terribly scared of doing live video, your brain's going to go, I don't want Helen to be uncomfortable or not feel safe. So then all these things come in your head going, don't do it. Not today. Do it tomorrow. You're not looking good today. Your skin's not looking good today. Your hair, I haven't washed my hair. Whatever the stupid things that come into your brain, it'll literally stop you doing the live video, because that's the makeup of your brain and what it is there to do. It's there to keep you safe. So the first thing you need to realize is that you have to force yourself almost to overcome this negative self-thinking to do what you want to do, because you're naturally going to talk yourself out of it majority of the time. Until you force yourself to do it, you get a little bit more comfortable, and then you'll do it anyway because it's not so scary anymore. But you've got to start, somewhere. Fuel, thanks Helen. You always have valuable info. No problem. Sean, do it tomorrow. Never gonna do it. Yeah. Vivi, so true. Yeah, like people say to me all the time, and the students that I mentor, and we talk about live video, and we'll say, right, so how many live videos are you going to do a week? Right, I'm going to do 3 on my business page. And then we get to the next strategy call, and it's like, well, what happened? Oh, I'm not ready. And it's like, mate, if you're waiting until you're ready, it'll never happen. I said this the other day. It's like, having the baby. For years, I'm going, I'm not ready. And I came to the conclusion, I'm never going to be ready to bring this little thing into life that's relying on me and that I have to feed and look after and whatever. Like, you're never really ready to go, yep, I'm ready to pop out babies. Some people are. I was not one of those people. Same with live video. If you're waiting to go, I'm not quite ready yet, I'll wait till I'm ready to do live video. Guess what? Probably never going to happen. Vivi, can you mix personal live videos with business-related live videos? Not going to answer that right now, Vivi, because that's going to be all in the setup in the next few days of how we're going to tackle this and how you might choose to tackle it. Because there's all sorts of different options. Vivi, meaning one day you do one personal, a few days later you do one regarding your business. Yes, you can, as long as you, I just want to touch on Tamara's comment there. Fear is imagined reality. So what does fear stand for? Does anyone remember? False evidence appearing real. That's what fear stands for. Fear for false, E for evidence, A for appearing real. So it's false evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's actually not real. Fear. You're imagining something is going to happen when more than likely it doesn't. So thanks for mentioning that, because it's important. Any of you that have done personal development sort of topics or training or things like that, that often is spoken about. Fear, false evidence appearing real. It's actually not real. So important to remember when we talk about fear. So back, thank you, Rob. False evidence appears real. Thank you. So Vivi, back to your topic about sort of the live video. Can we mix personal with business? Yes, you can. We just have to be careful about how we're approaching the business. So this is all the setup that I'm going to go through in the next few days. So before we go live next week and we go 14 days straight, that you've got a really good, clear plan of action about what you're going to talk about, what days. You've got content creation ideas that I've given you. You know whether to go personal or business and how far we go with business. All that kind of thing I'm going to set up for you this week. So then those of you that are in the challenge, when we start the challenge next week, you know how you're going to tackle it. The worst thing you want to do when you go live is not really knowing whether what you're saying is right or wrong, or am I going to get into Facebook jail for this, for what I'm saying? And then if you've got doubt, guess what shows up on camera? So we've got to have conviction, we've got to seem confident, all those kind of things. Now, this negative self-talk that I'm talking about today, a huge part of our negative self-talk will be that fear around sort of things like live video. So we've all got an inner critic. You won't get rid of it. It's always going to be there. The trick is to know how to manage it. So I want to give you 3 tips today to help you manage negative self-talk. Now, like anything to do with personal growth, personal development, these kind of topics, you are never going to switch your brain from good to, bad. Not that we should use words like good or bad, but everything to turn around thoughts that, just pop into your head. And we normally think, negatively. Brady, how do we live without you, Helen? Love you, push us, all these fun challenges. Cool, Brady. Thanks for your comment. I've done it again. Now I've lost my train of thought. Thank you for your comment, Brady. I'll get back there. So we naturally go to the negative, unfortunately, more than the positive. So there's things that you can do, but you need to practice them. You can't do these things once that I'm going to tell you. Thank you, Vivi. There's a bit of a delay there, so you probably wrote that before. There's things that you can do, but you have to, these 3 things that I'm going to give you, you have to practice them. You can't do it once and suddenly you're a positive thinker instead of a negative thinker, because we're always going to have the self-critic. So just keep in mind that these things that I'm going to tell you are things for you to practice, things for you to have a great awareness about, because unless you have awareness, it's very hard to change, correct? Give me some palm trees down below. Unless you have some awareness, if you sort of agree with that, unless you have some awareness, you can't change. Unless you sort of want to think about it and have the awareness about it, how can you change something if you're not aware of what you're actually doing or saying? So definitely the first tip is you need to notice your inner critic. When those things start popping in, you need to notice it for start. Don't just take that in. Oh, I'm going to sound terrible, or I don't think I can do it, or like notice that. It's your awareness, and challenge that negative thinking there and then. So the only way that you can change a behavior and turn negative self-talk into positive self-talk, firstly, is with noticing it, noticing your inner critic. Like actually think about when you actually say something to yourself in your head and your inner critic's at work, what are you saying? And go, man, do I really talk that negatively to myself? You probably do. So catch it and challenge it. So let me give you an example of that. So let's say in your business, you've set up a time to talk to somebody about your business. So they're open enough to having a conversation. Now you're panicking because you're like, what if I stuff this up? What if I say the wrong thing? I'm not really successful myself, so what am I going to tell them? You know, all the rest of it. So all this inner critic has just suddenly come into your hand. So you've set up, the call. And yet now you're going, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? I'm going to stuff this up. If I say the wrong thing, I'm going to blow it. So the inner critic's at work. So when you notice something like that, 1, notice it. So, okay, I'm talking negatively again. So catch it. And then challenge yourself to turn around those negative thoughts. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. They've actually agreed to listen. I'm not just cold going to somebody, blah, 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 blah. They've actually agreed to talk to me about this. So it's okay. They're on the same page for now. They've actually agreed to talk to me. I'm just not going up to somebody who didn't agree to talk to me and go, blah, 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 blah. They've actually agreed to talk to me about this. So that's a good thing. It's okay. I've just got to find the right words now, whatever. See what I mean about challenging your negative thought? So instead of going, I'm going to stuff this up, what am I going to say, all the rest of it, challenge your negative thought and go, it's okay. I can work this out. They've actually agreed to talk to me. That's a good thing. Turn it around in the moment. Challenge your negative thoughts and notice the inner critic. You can't change your negative thoughts if you're not noticing them. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, send me some likes and loves or some palm trees. If that makes sense, you are incapable of change unless you acknowledge that you need to change. So unless you go, there I go again. All these negative thoughts are popping in my head. I've got to challenge that. All right, I've got to turn that around. Okay, I know I don't feel that comfortable about it, but they've agreed to talk to me about this. So now I just need to do a little bit more work on what I'm going to say. So you turn that around, okay? That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, I challenge you to speak to yourself as you would somebody else. What I mean by that, would you say half the things that you say to yourself, would you ever say to somebody else? Would you turn around and say to somebody else, oh, you're such an idiot. You can't do this. You're not good enough. You're not successful enough. Would you ever say those words blatantly to somebody else? Would you ever say to somebody, you are not good enough to do this? Don't be an idiot. Why would you even try that? You're not successful enough in business. So why would anyone listen to you? Would you ever talk to somebody else the way you talk to yourself sometimes? Rob, no, you would not. Hey Tina, how are you? Lovely to see you on live. Hey Tammy, how you going? Awesome to see you here. Thanks for saying hello to Henry. So Sean, we wouldn't, would we? So Tamara, absolutely not. Vivi, I would never beat somebody down like that. So why is it okay to do it to ourselves, guys? So I would challenge you. Think about, so number one is noticing it. Number two, yeah, Brady, or to your kids. No, of course you wouldn't. And we should be aware of the way we talk to ourselves, like you would be aware of the way that you talk to your children or talk to anyone else around you. And that's, yes, Vivi, because we are so hard on ourselves. We beat ourselves up so much. We need to change that. The only way you're going to change that is to have awareness of what you're saying to yourself, for starters. If you don't have the awareness, it's not possible for you to change those inner thoughts. So have the awareness around it. Challenge the negative thought as soon as it comes in, which you can do because you've got the awareness. Without the awareness, you can't challenge it. And then think to yourself, would I ever say that to somebody else? Then why would I ever treat myself so badly? How badly do we treat ourselves sometimes? How often do we neglect ourselves sometimes? Even in physical exercise, food, overeating, indulgences, bad habits. We do it to ourselves all the time. You'd never say to somebody else, that, well, you're an idiot for doing that. So why would we say it to ourselves? We do something and then we beat ourselves up, or we do something and then beat ourselves up about it. Or if we've got negative self-beliefs that have lasted from years, from our childhood, we end up doing self-sabotage. So we might do it right for a while, and then you go back into this pattern and you self-sabotage your success because you don't believe it. Okay? Vivi, I think it's because it's easier to take out the bad than putting it on somebody that we care about. Yeah, it is, and that's sad. Very pretty shirt. Thank you, Tina. So it's unfortunately easier for us to be cruel to ourselves than be kind to ourselves. So I would challenge you, the number 2 tip is speak to yourself like you would speak to another person. So in other words, don't speak to yourself. If you would say that to somebody else, don't say it to yourself, and be kind to yourself. So the 3rd tip that I want to give you is practicing positive self-talk. Okay? You need to practice saying nice things to yourself. You need to practice, I can. Get rid of can't. You don't want to use can't. I teach my kids, we're not using that word. It's you can. You just got to find a different way. Maybe it didn't work this time, but it doesn't mean you can't try again. We're not using can't in our household. How do I find a way? How do I find a solution? Not how I can't do it. How can I do it? Okay? Absolutely great comments. Vivi, learn to love yourself. Rob, respect yourself. How many of us don't? Seriously, how many of us don't love ourselves or respect ourselves enough to talk nicely to ourselves? So it takes practice. I was absolutely Sean, love yourself. Not in a vain, egotistical way, but if we really don't learn to talk to ourselves more nicely, it's very hard to create new habits. We've all got bad habits, have we not? Give me some palm trees and fishies for that. Have we all not got bad habits? We all have bad habits, but the only way to change bad habits is to create new ones. The only way you can create a new habit is actually to do something over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's why the 3rd tip is you've got to practice positive self-talk. You've got to practice being nice to yourself. You've got to practice catching your negative thoughts and turning into the positive ones. If you don't practice that, you're going to be stuck in negative self-talk forever, because it's the only way that you can create new habits is to actually do something over and over and over again. So then you naturally think on the positive more than you think in the negative. Okay? So things you might choose to do to practice it is you might have little sayings to yourself, you might have a little mantra, you might meditate, you might have positive affirmations, you might have gratitude. Everybody has their little thing that works for them. I was listening to a podcast yesterday and this guy had interviewed Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor was very involved in, have you heard of The Secret by Rhonda Byrne? So the law of attraction and, all those kind of things. Robin, whatever way it is that you talk to yourself is what you will believe. Absolutely. So we've got to be very careful what we say to ourselves, because that's more often than not when we come to what comes into our reality. The drill goes, the drill, the more you focus on, that's what you get more of. If you focus on the fact that you've got no money, what are you going to get more of? Probably bills. You're going to get more things that are going to take money away from you. When you start thinking about an abundance of things, an abundance of money, and beautiful people that come into your life for whatever reason, someone pops into your newsfeed or into your life, they come for a reason. So, we want to, think positively so the right things come to us. You've heard of The Secret, Tamara. It's really quite powerful. The only thing that, is negative about the Secret is that we can't just sit there and go, I want my life to change, and it'll change. So the whole power of The Secret is amazing. Like, I love The Secret. It's really, really quite powerful. And what we think about, we tend to sort of manifest more, but we've got to take the opportunities when they arise as well. So things will pop in, but then it's our job to take advantage of those things, to take it to the next level, to truly manifest what it is we want. So I can't just sit in my chair in my household and just go, I want to be famous, I want to be successful, I want to earn lots of money, I want my life to be awesome. And that's all I do. That's all I think about. So the thing with The Secret is, yes, what we think about will come about, and that's very true. But generally what happens when what you think about comes about, so you'll come across somebody who shares something with you, but if you don't act on those opportunities that come in front of you because you're attracting it, I hope this is making sense, and you don't actually do things that get out of your comfort zone and actually take the step forward, then, miracles can't happen. Beautiful things can't happen because you're not taking the steps you need to. So it's also the power of seeing, not only thinking about it, but seeing opportunities when they come at you. And it's like, yeah, I need to do this. I need to push myself to do it, and then the magic happens. So it's not only thinking about it, it's acting on the opportunities that come at you because you've been thinking about it. Does that make sense? Send me some likes and loves if that makes sense. You cannot expect to drop on your knee. That's right. Like, it's not going to just, you go, I want to live a beautiful, happy, successful, financial freedom life, and it just drops in your lap. You've still got to take the actions to move that along. So we can attract it, but we have to take the actual physical actions of the opportunities that get put in front of it. So I hope that makes sense. Tamara, what you magnify will manifest, and you have to be an active participant. That's right, in your prosperity. Absolutely, absolutely. So well said. So it's all about the action as well as sort of the thinking. So I was listening to this podcast yesterday, and that's how I got onto that. And a guy was interviewing Bob Proctor, and Bob Proctor said he's got this thing called auto-suggestion. So this is something practical that I'm trying to give you for tip number 3, which is practice positive self-talk, because that'll create new habits, is this power of auto-suggestion. And what he was saying is that you don't actually have to really believe in the beginning and positive self-talk. So you might go in and out of belief. So you might go, I can be successful. And then your negative self-talk comes in and goes, I hope I can be successful. In the back of your brain. And then you go, no, I'm going to be successful. And then your negative self-talk comes in and goes, I actually don't know if I can achieve that. See what I mean? So so we can practice self-talk, but your inner critic is going to sort of come in and there. So what Bob Proctor was saying is the power of auto-suggestion. I am going to be successful. When you do that over and over and over and over and over again in positive self-talk and repeating it to yourself a couple of times a day and actually saying it out loud to yourself, even in a mirror, those kind of things, that then you actually start to believe it and it will start to happen. But the powerful message of what he was saying is that you don't actually have to believe it in the beginning. So if you've got going in and out of, I really want to be successful, I don't know if I actually will ever get there. That's reality of what happens when we start practicing self-talk. But what Bob Proctor was saying is it's auto-suggestion. So we suggest it to ourselves over and over and over again and practice it. So practice self-talk, and you will eventually hang on to more of the, yes, I can be successful, and the inner critic will slowly die away. And then you'll get into habits of thinking positively more than negatively. So it's this power of what he calls auto-suggestion. So you don't necessarily have to 100% believe in it in the beginning, but you need to start the process of auto-suggestion. Are you following with me there? If you're following with me, put the word follow down below. I just want to know that you got that. So when we start new habits and you think, yeah, I really want to grow. I really want to personally grow because I know my business isn't going to be fabulous unless I'm fabulous. I'm feeling fabulous. I'm feeling confident. I can get on live video, all of that kind of stuff. So you start positive self-talk. So you start it, and then your inner critic is going, yeah, I want to be successful. And then your inner critic's going, I've never been successful in the past. What makes this any different? It's just how it's going to go. But what Bob Proctor's point is, this is the power of auto-suggestion. If you suggest it to yourself, you can be successful. You actually can be. There is no reason why you can't be successful. Everyone is born on the planet with the same, it's not preconceived as to who's going to be a sports star and who's going to be successful in business and whatever. You've just got to believe it to be true, and things will fall in your path. And then when you take those opportunities and grab them, you can make it happen. But if you start saying, I can make this happen, and practice that over and over and over again, then that's what you're going to attract more of. You have to grab the opportunities on the way, not just sit back and wait to become successful. You have to take the action, but through auto-suggestion, that slowly becomes your more normal. Your more normal? Hopefully you followed what I mean there. That becomes your new way of thinking when you do it over and over and over again and auto-suggest to yourself that it's possible. Okay? So I hope you followed that. His book, Born Rich, is all about, what you're talking about. Yeah. Is it Born Rich, or is that the actual title of it, Glenn? Such powerful stuff. So let's just sort of recap that. How can you combat negative self-talk and get rid of that inner critic? Is one, you've got to have a high level of awareness of your inner critic and challenge. Yeah, thank you, Glenn. So Born Rich by Bob Proctor is what Glenn's saying there. Any suggestions you get for really good books, guys, you should write them down and follow them up. Because books can be very powerful in influencing, the way that you think. And you can't change your life unless you change the way you think. Your beliefs determine your actions. So if you believe a whole lot of crap, guess what is executed in your life? A whole lot of crap. If you believe that you can, if you believe that you are capable, if you believe that you can learn, then your actions will follow. So your thoughts turn into your beliefs, and your beliefs determine your actions. So if your thoughts and your beliefs in the beginning are up the, then that's what happens in your life. So good books can, change that. Patricia, hello Patricia, I didn't know you were on. Born Rich is an amazing book. So all those kind of things are, fabulous to put some time and effort into to make you a better version of you. So the number one, noticing your inner critic and challenging those negative thoughts. Go, nah, I'm not giving into that. I'm turning that around. The second thing is I challenge you to speak to yourself as you would speak to others. Half the crap that you say to yourself, you would not say to another person. So if you wouldn't say it openly to another person, do not say it to yourself. Capiche? We on the same page? I challenge you to start doing that. And the third thing is practice positive self-talk. When you do positive self-talk, then you'll create new habits. When you create new habits, you'll create new beliefs. When you create new beliefs, you'll create new actions, positive actions. So it all starts with the way that you talk to yourself and what you believe in. And use that power of auto-suggestion. You may not be convinced in the beginning. That inner critic might bounce back in when you're trying to be positive, and the little inner critic's going, when you just don't give in to that and challenge it and practice it, then we've got half a chance to change our life. So this stuff is so easy to do, but guess what? It's so easy not to do. People go, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a really good strategy, but do they actually put it in practice? Most people don't. So I'm challenging you, do the do. Think about those 3 things, put them into practice, start today. These are, I like to give you little tips that you can go and start today, but it's up to you. I'm not going to come through the screen and, make you do it. I wish I could see some of you in person and give you a good stern talking to. But it's up to you to really make the change. Put that inner critic behind bars. I love that, Sean. That's a great way to put it. So true. Glenn, full title is You Were Born Rich. Okay, I love that title, Glenn. You were born rich. We're all born rich. We're all born blessed. We just let our own crap get in the way. Born Rich is on audio. Yeah, I'm a big fan of an app called Audible, and I download a lot of books and listen to them rather than read. I'm so busy with all the things that I do that I just don't find the time to sit and read, but I like to utilize my time. Hey Rachel, how are you? Lovely to see you on live. I like, whether I'm driving in the car, I'm going somewhere, or I'm doing something at the house that's meaningless, or like I'm cooking or something like that, I always like to be listening to something. So I can have my phone and Audible going on loudspeaker, or if the kids are around, I just put my headphones in if they don't need me, and just listen to something while I'm doing something else. That's the only time that really multitasking works. Other than that, multitasking is really, really inefficient. But if I'm doing something meaningless like driving or cooking or something like that, that's where I listen to things like Audible. Tammy, you're the same. You rather use audio. Rob, and you like audio books better. Awesome. So that's probably long enough. I've talked long enough, chewed off your ear long enough. Sorry guys. I always try to talk quick, but I love the interaction that you guys and the input that you give. So, and this is a really important topic. So I hope that you take away those 3 tips and do something with at least one of them and start practicing turning around your thoughts, because that's the kind of stuff that can change your life. And when you change your way you think and you change your beliefs, which change your actions and change your life, then you're going to get the things that you want. That will make you blossom as a person, have huge self-confidence and self-belief, and then that will turn into taking actions you never thought that you would do before, because you truly believe in what you're doing and in yourself, and then that's what brings success in business. But we can't have success in business unless we've got all this sort of stuff sorted out, first. So it's hugely important. Tammy, good tips, and thank you. Tamara, thanks Helen. No worries. And that's why I'll always talk about this once a week at the beginning of the week. So if you've not been on my lives before, this is what I start our week with. The last few weeks have been a bit all over the place because I've been traveling and we interviewed Kate and all that kind of stuff. Now we're back on track. So business for the rest of the week. We're moving on to Facebook Live and everything that makes that tick and work. So I will see you at the same. Glenn, great live today. Thank you for being on, Glenn. I appreciate seeing your name there. It's awesome. If you did get some value out of this today, put the word value down below. If you think somebody else can listen and learn from this message about combating negative self-talk, please share this video out and let other people hear this message. If everybody could have positive self-talk, how much better would the world be? Thanks for all your comments, guys. I really appreciate it. So I will see you same time, same place, same bat channel, same quirky hat tomorrow. So I'll see you then, guys. Bye.